Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back to another late night card making with me, Revati. And today we will be creating a very fun popcorn theme card. Now, this one is the supplies that I'll be using today comes from the Simon Stamp June card kit, and well, Simon just came up with their July card kit, and that's fun too. But we will be using the popcorn die, this beautiful stamp set, and some other supplies from the kit. So let's dive right into it. Yes, late night crafting. I think this week I took it a little more seriously. It's almost past midnight here, and well, it's been a little busy day. So yeah, we will do late night crafting just as the name says. So yep, it's going to be absolutely late night. Um, so we will start with the 3D popcorn box. I'll be creating this little popcorn box for our card, and we'll be using this stamp set, this particular stamp set. Now, this stamp is called Having Fun, and it has some really fun sentiments and some firework theme celebration. There are this one, it says it goes with the 3D popcorn box stripes. This one goes with the 3D cone stripes, which again, the die is there in the kit. Now, the kit is sold out, but all these supplies are available. Hi, mommy. Thanks for being awake. All these supplies, I will leave a links to all of them, which can be bought individually. And I'll be using one of the sentiments from this one as well. Now, this is another product which was in the kit, and I'm not sure if I'll be using this. We can decide it at the end. And these are like those little tickets you get at a movie theater, or even like a fair, or uh, those kind of places. So this is kind of a nostalgia. This looks very vintagey. So let's keep this aside for now, and we'll see if I'll use it, and depending on how the card turns out. Another fun product that I'm going to use is this little guy. This is uh, you just apply it on your little popcorn kernels, and then it just heat it up and it'll fluff. So I did try it once. This is what it looks like. It will give you a little fluffed up on. Let me just zoom in that. So it almost gives like a 3D appearance. Now I think this is the only time I've tried it. So let's see on a bunch of different popcorn kernels how that looks. And of course it looks beautiful on the popcorn. I think I would also use it to fluff up the clouds or maybe a bunny tail. I think this product is really versatile. So I will leave a link to this one as well. So let's get started with our 3D popcorn. Now, how this works is there are all the dies that you get to create not just the popcorn box, but also little ones which will cut out the popcorn kernels. This particular die will give you the base. So off camera, I went ahead and die cut all these pieces just to save us some time here. So this is the box that we will create. It does lay flat, but you will also see it's almost like a 3D. So you could even pop it up. You could lay it flat on your card, or you could just attach it to one side and then, add some foam tape on the other and pop it up. So this particular die creates almost like an insert. You can add color to this and then layer each of those popcorn kernels right over it. So this is what it will look like right there. And to color that in, I will be using the scattered straw distress oxide ink. Again, this one was also included in the kit. So let's get started. I'll show you how I created the stripes. what I did was I just stamped this particular set on a white piece of paper, and then I can take this particular die set which will cut out the box and just try to layer it on this. Now I prefer stamping first and then die cutting. Uh, that way I get a little more control, but you could do it the other way around as well. So I will go ahead and cut this out. Go. Keep all of these aside for now. So it has score lines. I don't know if you can see it here on camera, but it does have little score lines. So all you do is just fold along the score line. Well, the ink that I used to ink up the stripes is the positively saturated ink cherry. So this is the darkest or the closest red that I have. So with that, and now I'll just fold along all of these score lines. There you go. Now what we can do is, now if you see this, it's almost like a box. You can lay it flat definitely, but again, if you just adhere it as is, it'll give you that little bit of raised 3D box like structure. I will use some of my Barely Art glue and just add little dots of glue here and close it. Just hold that in place. And there we have our little popcorn boxes ready. So this can definitely be a birthday card, or like the sentiments on the stamp set we have a pop-in birthday, or just what's poppin', or poppin' in to say hello. You could use any sentiment for this particular card design. It would also be like a fun movie themed card as well. Okay, now that our boxes are ready, let's work on the popcorns. Now this one also cuts out these little pieces which you can use as little decorative accents for your popcorn box. You could leave it or use it. It depends on how you like or the feel of the project. So this we will add at the very end. I am again not, so this card is totally unplanned. I just knew the products that I was going to use. I didn't have an idea in mind. So let's see if I'll be using both these popcorn boxes along with those tickets or just one of them. So depending on that, we will adjust the position of this particular die. Now let's bring our popcorns and color them in. So I will lay them all out on my ultra sticky mat. Now this one's from Altenew. This is the mat that will fit perfectly into the stamp wheel. So, so to color it in, I'll be using the scattered straw shade. This again was part of the kit. Okay. So I'll just use a mini blending brush and lightly add that ink over this piece. Now you don't have to color the whole thing in because this will slide in. It's just to hold these popcorns in place, so you don't have to blend the entire thing. You could adjust the intensity of the ink you want. You could use any other shades that you want, but I think I'll stick to just this one shade and maybe add a little bit of intensity here. I'll do the same with these little popcorn kernels as well. Some of my popcorns are really yellow. Some have that little bit of white on them. All right. So that should be it. Now for the fun part. Now we will bring in this paint and fluff thing, and I'll show you how this works. Now the easiest way I found was I will remove all of these pieces and place it on my glass mat, and we can work from there. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to add this like to cover the whole of the popcorn. Rather, I'll just add little dabs here and there to give that little 3D finish. So what I'm going to do is take this piece and just add some, it's almost like a thick paste, and I'm really enjoying playing with this one. It's like super fluffy. And yes, it now this particular popcorn, which I've already done maybe 10-15 minutes back, and it's dried completely. It's not smudging, or it's really I wouldn't say hard, but it has a very soft, smooth texture to it. So we'll be playing with that. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I will heat all of these up. Now, unlike with our heating of the embossing powder and where we have warping and stuff, here we will apply a lot of heat and wait until it fluffs up. So I'll make sure my heat tool is really nice and warm before I bring it to these little popcorns. Okay. I will pick these up with my reverse tweezers. That's the easiest way. You could also place them on your uh, the positively editing tool, but I feel that when you apply heat, it just flies around. So the best way to do it is to hold it with your reverse tweezer or any tweezers that you have. Another way is if you are placing it on something, just hold it with your little pokey tool, but again, the rest of the popcorns tend to fly away. So this I feel was the easiest. So there I have it. I can pick that up and let me try to get it with this here. And once I apply the heat, it will start fluffing up. So this is what it looks like. Um, Let me just grab my white custard pan. There you go. This is what it looks like. This is definitely a very interesting product, and I am so glad I got to use it. So I will do the same with all the other little popcorns, and we can then build it up. It doesn't really take much time to build that fluff, and I feel it's pretty quick and something that I look forward to using on other projects as well. So let's see how that works. Maybe, like I said, on clouds or bunny tails, and anywhere I can use those fluffs. So, or even like if I'm creating a coffee card, it would be maybe on the whipped cream or the creamer. I I I think I'll use it for that as well. I'm not sure if I will color the fluff. Let's see. What do you think? Should I color it yellow or should I leave it white? We can try coloring one or two and then see how it looks. And then we can take it from there. And I'm not sure if these fluffs will even take in the color. So we'll again have to try it out. Yeah. So like I said, this is the first time I'm trying this, so even I am not sure how this product works. So yes, let's do it together. Every Saturday I think to myself, okay, next live I'm going to be totally prepared. But then life just happens and it's it's all live here, and there's no practice session, or I don't have like a card ready to show you before the live. So basically we just create everything together and we all learn, and we learn together, we discover new techniques together. So let's try ink blending onto one of these and see if it takes in the color. Okay, so I can go and bring back my sticky mat and maybe try it on a couple of them. So there we go. Oh yes, it did take up the color. That looks good. Let me bring it a little closer to the camera. So look, I'm not sure if the camera is picking that up. These two have the slightest bit of color, these two, and this one is completely white. So I think we can add in a little bit of color. Thanks for the suggestion, babe. That's my husband chatting with me on the live chat, and he gives me all kind of suggestions. He's been my cheerleader all along the way. So yeah, let's add slightest bit of color, and this looks completely dry. It's not smushing away or smudging, so that's a good thing. So I'm hoping it stays like this even if I plan on mailing out this card. I don't want it to press in and just ruin all that beautiful texture. Okay, so our popcorn kernels are ready. The box is ready. Let's just assemble everything. So how I plan on doing is, since this is a little popped up, I will glue this particular layer down on the back, and then we can add some foam tape for these little guys. So let me add some liquid glue here, back of this. I will just take the reverse tweezer and hold this in place while the glue dries. I still have a little box here. I'll do the same with this one as well. I'll just add some liquid glue. Stick this down. This will slide in perfectly. Now we can go ahead and add these popcorns here. Now I will keep a couple of popcorns aside because we can add that on our card almost like popcorn flowing out of the box. So for few of them, I will glue maybe a couple of these popcorns right on top. And then for the others, I will just go ahead and add them using some foam tape. So that was number one. Let me find some little foam squares. I have these little foam squares from these are the scrapbook adhesive foam squares. Let me add these for a little popcorn. Okay, these look a little big. So what I like to do is just cut them into smaller pieces. Now this is the smallest foam square available. You can just take your scissors and cut them if you want even smaller pieces. So just like that. I can cut them and add them to the back of our popcorn. One little guy over here. And this one, what I'll do is I will adhere him on this part. So on the flap, not on the back. What I'll do is this little guy and add him here. So that way it looks a little more fuller. I'll just hold this while we go and adhere these. For this one, let's add all four again with foam tape. Popcorn kernels are really tiny. Right? Another one. This is our little popcorn tub. Adorable. Okay. Now let's move on to our card base. Now for my card base, I had this 8 size panel and I cut it using the new Sparkler scallop frame die. This was part of the previous release, the one that released in June. I think it's called Always There. Yeah. Now this one has these scallop dies which cut out that beautiful pattern. So I wanted a little bit of pattern on my card base. Now, what I think I will do is I want these popcorn boxes laid like this, and I'll have some beautiful texture in the background. Let's do that. So this was the point where I wanted to see if I wanted to use these tickets as well. So let me just grab maybe one ticket and see how it looks behind this. So the best part here is all you have to do. So all these tickets will have little perforations, and all you can do is just tear them apart like we did in the cinema halls or uh, game places. So I just want to arrange a few of them behind. We have a couple of ones which are big, some are small. So let's see. Let's see if we like it. So you really want those stone edges there. Oh, and let's bring in some fun colors as well. So, so the plan is either add these tickets, scatter them behind the popcorn, like this, or have this stamp. It'll go like this. So one of these popcorns I think I might lay flat, and the other one will be a little popped. So, or we could just add the stamp and the tickets. So I'll go with this one, which looks almost like a firework. And I'm going to use the same Distress Oxide ink and stamp it all over. So, like I said, nothing here is planned. We're just going with the flow. I cannot seem to find my bigger stamp block, but well, we'll try working with this. So, and I'm not looking for a perfect impression, just enough to have the area covered. So I will use the same ink. This again is scattered straw. So I will stamp it randomly. It's a beautiful shade of almost yellowish, and more of those. I will add one here. And the third one maybe here. So now when we add all of the tickets and the little popcorn kernels, we have a well balance of the design. And then we also have some place for our sentiment. If you want to make it a little more, you know, uh, fun, let's bring in another stamp and repeat it. So that'll just make the background a little more fuller. There we go. That's one. That's two. Let's do one over here. So now, before I add these die cuts, let me stamp my sentiment. I decided that I will turn this into a birthday card. So let's just stamp our little sentiment in this gap right here. Okay. Move this out, and let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. I just want to make sure it's completely straight. Okay, let me my grid transparency go. All right, found it. So there we have it. That makes this process a lot more easier. I can just place this over there and we can line this up perfectly. All right. Now I do plan on using embossing powder over it. So I will go ahead and first use my anti-static powder tool. And then I'm using my VersaFine Onyx Black, beautiful pigment ink. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is heat set it with some clear embossing powder. I'll make sure I'll try not to add the embossing powder to these stamped images because they might still be a little wet. So grab my clear embossing powder. There you have it. Now, unlike the little popcorns where I added a lot of heat, now this, since this is just a sentiment and I don't want to warp this panel, I'll make sure my heat tool is nice and warm before I bring it onto the panel, and I'll keep moving it so that the panel does not warp a lot. Let's see. That was quick. Now, just clean my surface before I move ahead. Okay. So now let's place these. This is something I think looks good. I'm still not sure if I should add these tickets. Maybe just two, if not three. Two right over here, and then the popcorn boxes right over it. It's like two people, two tickets, that kind of. Yep, let's do that. So let's just create this. All right. So I will add glue on this one here. directly glue this down. I don't want to cover a lot of that stamping. Now with the popcorn, this looks really good. So this is what I plan on doing. This one will go directly down on the apple. I'll just try to flatten it as much as I can and add adhesive right on the back and what I want. So right there. I'll just press it down and it definitely will pop up. So I just want to make sure that it stays in place. Now for this one, I'll use glue on one side and little foam tapes on the other. So again, I am going to use those small little tapes that I use for our popcorn. Where did I keep it? It's right in front of me. All right. So this is the side that will be glued down and this one will be on top. I think I'll go with a bigger tape. I'll use this one. This is the one that I use for the back of the card. So I'll just add a little bit of that to the back. This side. And for this side, I will add liquid glue. Again, I'll hold these in place until the glue dries. So that's our card front. Don't forget the little pieces. Let's arrange those as well. Now for this one, I will put it on this side. Again, I'm using my reverse tweezers to hold the piece in place so that it's a lot more easier. I will do the same here as well. That's it. So even though you'll see that this popcorn is laid flat, it still pops a little. It's not like completely flat on the card. So there we have it, our little popcorn card. I absolutely love how this turned out. Now all I have to do is I will turn it around and add some foam tape and pop it up on a card front. This does have some dimension, so if you plan on mailing a card like this, I would say maybe have a bigger envelope and also maybe extra postage. Well, I am still not sure if that fluff paint will hold up in mail or it'll go flat, but it the texture feels really soft, so I'm assuming it won't flatten, but let's see. So I have a top folding card base. I'll just pop this right up. Oh, um, let's see if we can add some sequins. Okay. So I have these pastel tone positively dazzling gems. I'll be using these. those out. So we have some yellows, blue, green, and very light oranges. So I'll pick out those. I will pick out the yellows and maybe add in the center of these fireworks. Over there, and maybe just one more big ones over here. Let me pick a smaller one for this little firework. So these are four, and I usually prefer having or even numbers. So I will just add another one. That'll kind of complete the look, I feel. Before I place them in there, I'll just keep this away. I don't want to, lose these and mess everywhere. So I will bring back my liquid glue and little drops of glue on the center of each of these fireworks. And that's it, guys. Our little popcorn themed card is ready. I love how fun this was. I was really not expecting this kind of a look, and the 3D box is a really fun product to work with. It's almost like a 3D box. It does not lay flat. So yes, I will call it a 3D box. And the tickets, this was something that I would not have used if I didn't have this product. So I wouldn't go and buy it and use it. But I'm really glad this came with a kit, and this is something really new for me. And this fluff stuff, I am really excited about it. So I will leave links to all of these products and also the products in the kit. And note that the kit is not available. We do have the Simon did come up with the July cut kit just today. So I will leave a link to that kit, and uh, note that all of these links are affiliate links, which means that if you shop using one of my links, I'll get a small commission at no cost. Thank you again for joining me today. Until next time, stay safe. Bye bye.